Hey everyone, how the heck are you? This is Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, hybrid author, mutant at times, occasional actor, award-winning playwright, and former mortician's assistant. Glad you're here. And speaking of glad you're here comes the kids right now. Paul S. Roof, Dave Noe, Jamie Ramos, Teresa Dunn. Gentlemen, lady, how y'all doing tonight? How all y'all, I should say, that's the proper terminology. Wow, we got a whole bunch of folks. Rob Anderson, Barry Andrews, welcome to the happening here. Bill Sarton, Sean Delaney, Kathy Jackson, mwah to you, mwah to everyone that wants that. Anyway, glad you're here. Welcome to I about to say never mind the furthermore. That's the Monday and Thursday thing. We're clever title pending tonight. But anyway, as always, good evening to you, Paul. And Aaron Mueller-King is here. Good to have you here. Rob Anderson, can't stay long, have another interview, but check out the Kickstarter that Rob Anderson is doing for The Advocate. The Advocator. It's a wonderful anthology comic that's coming out soon. Rob, good luck with your interview, my man, and good evening to you. And Debbie Stanton, hello, mwah. Welcome to the Evening Madhouse here. Welcome. I want to tell you all the way it works here is you have something to say to me, and boy, howdy, you're going to eventually. Put it in the comments and hit enter, and we'll have a discussion that way. And if you're here live and you've got a business that you own or a creative endeavor you're involved with, a book you want to promote, podcast, whatever, or a charity that's close to your heart, put it in the comments and hit that enter, and we're going to share this video with a whole lot of other people. Good evening to you, Aaron. Glad you're here. Good evening. I have a computer. I can now write a better book. Excellent, Teresa. Glad to hear that. Teresa's in the process of writing her first book. I'm very excited for her. I really am. And let's see, what else have we got going on here? That's pretty much it, but that's how this show works. So everyone who maybe hasn't seen this before, welcome. Glad to have you here. And to everyone who may be here and I haven't said hello to you, Facebook doesn't always tell me when everyone shows up. So hello. If you're lurking, that's cool too. And to everyone who will be watching this on the replay, we have a new YouTube channel. Actually, we've had it for a while, but we're actually doing something with it now. But we're going to be putting the rebroadcast of this up on YouTube. So if you miss it now, you can watch it later on YouTube if you want. And Sandra Reinstein is here. Mwah! Always glad to have you here, hon. Hope you're having a great Tuesday night. And Bonnie Nancy is here. Bonnie, mwah, glad to see you again. Hope everything's going well for you. And Paul S. Ruff also has a YouTube channel where he's doing reviews and information. It is really cool. Please check out his channel too. And like I said, mine is under my name, Brian K. Morris. And if you go over there, you'll see some stuff we've got happening there. Some of our escapades around Metropolis, as well as ads we put together for the original Skyman battles, the Master of Steam, and Santastein. So please go to my channel, give this a like. We'd love that, and subscribe if you would. And let's see, Aunt Erin is working on something too. Excellent, Aaron. Glad to hear that. And Paul has a book on Smashwords, which I still haven't gotten to. Paul, I'm so bad about this. I'm the worst beta reader in the world. But it's been busy around here, as you well know. And yes, Dave Noe says, good luck, Teresa Dunn. I agree completely. Teresa's running stuff by me, and it looks good. I'm really excited for her. I think this is something she's been wanting to do for a while, I hope, and something she's been hopefully needing to do, and she's well on her way. So she's still doing it the longhand. I'm not making fun of it at all. That's the way I started too. And Gary Hardman and Donnie Callahan have joined us. Gary, glad to have you here. Donnie, always a pleasure. Good talking to you yesterday. Donnie's a very talented filmmaker. Gentlemen, put in links if you've got something to promote. Glad to see you, Donnie. And let's see. His book he's writing, Joshua King, excellent. And Jamie Ramos, I'm 30,000 words into my first full-length novel titled Those Left Undying. It's a military fantasy book. Excellent, Jamie. Glad to hear that. Well, let's see. I'm up to chapter 5 in the sequel to Volcano, Rebirth of the Champion. This one is the Prometheus frame-up, and I'm excited. I'm excited to get this done. It's starting to come together, and we're just now getting into the meat of the plot now, so I'm really happy about it. Here we go. Sean Delaney, we are closer to completing the 400 Court Street pilot, the previously discussed wrestling history project. We may have it up by this weekend. Super. Excellent. Yeah, Sean showed me the script to that this morning. It looks good. It's about wrestling in the Evansville, Indiana market. Pretty exciting stuff if you're into wrestling. And also, Sandra, please put in the link, if you haven't already, to your podcast, Speaking of Wrestling. And Andy Borders has joined us. Andy, good to see you. And TJ Haruska, always a pleasure, sir. And Mickey NC Smith, mwah, right on time, but worth waiting for anyway. And Tommy Sharp, glad to have you. And Andrea Lynch, mwah, welcome aboard. Glad to have everybody. Boy, it's a crowd tonight. I'm happy. And Mickey NC Smith, hello, sweetie. Hello, sweetie, to you, too. Glad to see you. And everyone's saying hi. And Donnie Callahan has a link to Evade Movie, the page here on Facebook. Thank you for sharing that, Donnie. Please. And he's also been working on a Superman fan film with my good friend Charlie Soffer. And all kinds of. It looks great. I saw the preview the other night. That looked fantastic, Donnie. I'm looking forward to that. And Jason John is joining us. Jason, glad to have you here. And Kim Perry, the real Kim Perry. Mwah! Kim Perry is more than a delightful human being. She's also in the Volcana book. She is Volcana's best friend, and we love her and hope everything's going well for you, hon. And upcoming short that Donnie Callahan is directing. And you're a wrestling fan too. I'm old school. I'm old school wrestling. Haven't really followed wrestling much for the last 15 years, but anyway, yeah, cool. Yeah, Donnie, get in touch with Sean Delaney and let him talk to you about the stuff he's doing. Hey, dear, hey, me too. Love you, Kim. I'm glad you're here. And Jacob Brundle has joined us. Jacob has got Augur of Shadows, a brand new book coming out soon. Put in those links. I know you will, my man. And Mark Lerner. Mark, I'm sorry I missed your call earlier. I was in his room in the house gathering inspiration, if you know what I mean. Anyway, glad you're here, Mark. Hope everything's going well. Hope the weather's good for you guys over in Vermilion County. And hello, Jacob Brundle. Glad to see you. And hey there, Nosferatu. Yeah. It's the teeth, man. It's the sexy teeth. And Dave Noe, I used to write longhand. It helped me when I did the rewrite, and it was nice to actually feel the words on the page. I had to switch to typing because my hands just won't hold up like they used to. I hear you. Scientific studies show that more of your brain lights up when you write longhand compared to typing. Plus, it's always fun to go notebook shopping. Yeah, I get these. Let me get here. I have these little notebooks here that I buy, like about 4 or 5 or 6 for $1 or $2, depending on where I'm at. I've been using these for years. They're easy to carry, easy to put in a bag or something, a backpack, and I write down ideas and reminders of what I've got to get done during the day. I love these things. I used to write everything on legal pads. Mark Lerner got me doing that. And that's why so many of my characters are named Penwright, because that was the brand of paper we were buying at the time. So, but yeah, I switched to typing my first draft simply because it saved time. Because I knew I was going to input the stuff anyway, so I thought I might as well just train myself to skip a step, and that's what I wound up doing. And Sandra Reinstein has there we go, the link to InsideTheRopes.co.uk, plus the Inside Network at .podomatic.com. Check those out. Great podcasts. Sandra knows her stuff. She's awesome. And yes, I knew Andrea Lynch is a wrestling fan. That's cool. Like I said, I'm old school. I remember some of the regional stuff, like from back in the 60s up through about 2004 or so, I think it was. Then I watched one of those extreme matches on what was then WWF, and just hurt my stomach. I just thought, if this is wrestling anymore, I really don't want a part of it. So anyway, but yeah, I love old style wrestling. I love the old stuff. Vern Gagne, Greg Gagne, Baron von Raschke, the Crusher, the Bruiser. Those are my people, okay? And Augur of Shadows, the Destin series. Check out the pre-sale of Jacob Brundle's first book here on Amazon.com. Check that out. It's going to be awesome. Speaking of awesome, there's David Atkins. David, glad to see you. Hope you're having a great night, my friend. Donnie Callahan. Sean and I have been connecting lately already with this script. Excellent, Donnie. That's cool. I'm glad to hear that. And Sandra says, glad to see so many wrestling fans here tonight. It's the coolest. See, we get all the cool kids here. I'm the only lame one here, honest. Not Covfefe, Kool-Aid. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid tonight, kids. Kool-Aid lemonade. Anyway, Bill Sarton, I see her wearing that great Doctor Who shirt that Cookie made for you. She's very talented. Yes, she is. And currently, she is making corrections in one of my old books that we're going to be putting up on the interwebs soon. But thank you very much for the compliment, Bill. Yes, for those of you who, if you can see clearly, my beloved made this for me for Christmas. It is a shirt made to fit. It feels great with the first 12 doctors on it, not counting the war doctor. So anyway, she done good. She done real good. David Atkins got new book sent to the editor today. Next one's on the way. Good to hear. Good to hear. And dude, this weather sucks, says Andrea Lynch. Boy, no joke. I missed out on a show on Sunday because the weather was so bad up here in Lafayette, and it looks like we're getting another round of storms again this weekend. We got about 7.5 inches, and it looks like we're on our way to getting possibly another 5 or 6 this coming Friday and Saturday. So I agree with you, Andrea. Well, welcome to the Midwest, right? Illinois, Indiana, there's not much difference when it comes to weather. Jacob Brundle, check out my website for more info, blogs, book reviews at jacobbrundle.com. Go there. Not right now. I'm not done with you yet. So anyway, and DC Claymore's joined us. DC, glad to have you here as always. Hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday night, my friend. Glad to have you here. Donnie Callahan, I'm an old school wrestling fan myself. I miss a lot of the stuff that they used to do and not anymore. Yeah, and I remember some of the great matches. Like there was a series of matches with Greg Gagne was one of them, or not Greg, but Vern Gagne was one of them, and Nick Bockwinkel, and it was a scientific match. I mean, it was at one point Nick Bockwinkel did cheat, and he stopped and apologized, and the match went on, and it went on for an hour, and then Larry Zbyszko interfered when Vern was, when the referee was distracted, of course, Vern was standing near the ropes, and Larry Zbyszko had a handful of dimes, or a roll of dimes, and just clocked Vern, laid him out, and, and then it turned out that Nick got a match with Larry because he didn't appreciate him interfering, and at the end of it, it was, at the end of the match, I remember now, the referee was distracted and by Larry, who was complaining about the outcome. And again, this match lasted for an hour. And Vern, or not Vern, but Bockwinkel very visibly reached into his trunks, pulled out a roll of dimes, and when Zbyszko came from around the referee, of course, Nick slugged him and laid him out and was standing there opening up the thing and throwing dimes on him. And of course, Zbyszko wakes up about 2 minutes after Nick leaves the ring and complains. And all he sees are these dimes sticking to his sweat-coated chest, and he's complaining to the referee. And they bring up a mic for the referee and his official decision. And he said, Mr. Zbyszko claims that a foreign object was used by Nick Bockwinkel. I didn't see it, and ran out the ring. It was quite an amusing pair of matches, and you just don't get that anymore. You won't see an hour-long match for one thing on TV. And Brian, yeah, DC Claymore was saying hello to the cool kids, and then he got around to me. Thank you, DC. I appreciate that. And Mike Kazinger has joined us. Mike, good to see you. Michael is a very talented artist. He is also a wonderful guest at conventions, and if you have a bookstore or an event or a convention coming up that you need somebody to bring in the kids, Michael Kazinger does fresh drawings for free for anyone under 12. So please hire that man. Bring him to your convention. And Jessica Johnson, there she is. Mwah, glad to have you here on Tuesday night. Hope everything's going well tonight. David Atkins, any friends with Papa Maestro and many others who were popular in the 80s? Oh, am friends with Papa Maestro and many others who were popular in the 80s. That's cool. I used to hang around with some of the LPWA wrestlers. They were fun. They were great. And Steve Ellis has joined us. Steve, haven't seen you in a while. Hope everything's going well for you, mon frere. And there we go. And there's a link to Claymore Adventures. Check out the work of DC Claymore. He's about to release his 9th novel. I'm really excited by that. That is so cool. And Dave Noe says, here's the link to my latest novel about a group of monster hunters. It has some great illustrations and a cover by Derek Gross Sr., who's very, very talented. Trade of the Tricks Saga, Dark Monsters. Please check that out. Dave Noe is a very talented writer. He is fantastic. I like his stuff. And Sandra Reinstein says, old school wrestling was great, and wrestling's still great now. There's a lot of cool stuff going on and tons of variety available. That's true. I like the independent leagues. I like those. Don't know, I haven't watched the WWE match in forever. I will say that. So I don't know if I can make a judgment on that, really. I just know where it went for a while, and it really didn't thrill me, but I can rely on you to cover it. I got to catch up with your stuff, Sandra. I really do, because I love your work. I really do. And Sean Delaney, Donnie, I've recommended the book to Brian, but you might check out Death of the Territories. The St. Louis area played a big part in how things were changing in the 80s. That's true. And yeah, that was still a major outlet, and it's kind of like in the cusp of between like the Midwest stuff that was like a lot of it was still AWA, and then like the leagues out in like the lower Midwest. Cool stuff. Very cool. Sean's told me about the stuff he's got coming up. It's really. And speaking of exciting, there's Clyde Hall. Clyde, a pleasure as always. Hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday, you in Virginia. Clyde is a wonderful cosplayer, and more importantly, he's a great reviewer and writer for DoomRocket.com. And he's going to put a link soon. I just know this. And Aaron Mueller King has got a link to his DeviantArt page, please, or for Joshua King official. Yes, check that out. Check out the work there. I will do that. And Darren Lowe, very good. Coolness. Glad you're here, Darren. Darren is doing the very first comic book convention in the home of Mark Twain, Hannibal, Missouri, and Big River. Let's see, the Big River Comic Con, right? Is happening in a couple months. And Darren, do you still need vendors? Because if anyone's looking for a table at the inaugural convention, I would contact Darren right away. And Kathy Jackson, there she is. Mwah! Good evening, Kathy. Kathy, put the links to your books and all your sites and everything. Kathy has the dubious distinction of writing the very first romance novel I could ever finish and enjoy. Yours to love, great writer and a wonderful friend. Glad you're here. And good evening, Pendingers everywhere. Oh, he's using them, our fancy words. Welcome, Clyde. Glad to see you, buddy. And good evening to you, Kathy. And I'll check it out, says Diane. Cool. And my dad talks about that match all the time. Excellent. And Lace Becky, wonderful writer and a wonderful person. Lace Becky is here. Mwah. She's just released her first book, Nightmare Oasis, a few months ago from Cherry House Press, and doing well, I hope, and I hope you're doing well, what with the move and all. And hey, everyone, she says, she knows the drill. She's put in a link already to that book. That's fantastic. Sean Delaney, Zabisco was Vern's son-in-law at the time, I believe. I believe you're right, Sean. Sometime maybe I'll tell you about the shouting match I had with him at a match in Danville, Illinois. And Richard Lanford has joined us. Richard, glad to have you here. Hope you're having a great Tuesday night. Welcome to the Evening Madhouse. And Tommy Sharp to the podcast. Those are the links. Fair warning, we swear quite a bit on the shows. Well, maybe Sandra will explain what those words mean to me. Anyway, cool. And Tommy Sharp doesn't mind. Oh, if you hang around most of us, probably you'll hear worse. Anyway, Dave Noe, I have all the illustrations in my tricks book, including Derek's interior illustration in color by Kevin Halter, my good friend Kevin. Halter Color, come over after this show, come on over after CTP. Go to the Trade of the Tricks page of Dave Noe's on Facebook here. Dave Atkins, well, do not have much time to stay around. Got company coming. Hope to talk more on Thursday. Stay safe, everyone. David, you too. And have a good time with your company. And Andy Shaggy Cordy is joining us, the one, the only, the true one himself. Andy Shaggy Cordy. Andy, it's a pleasure to have you here. Hope you're surviving this terrible weather we're having. You're north of me, so you should be doing okay. But anyway, hope you're getting around safely, my man. Anyway, Sandra says, there are plenty of long matches that happen today. I prefer smaller independent shows to the big WWE productions, though. They're more interactive and allow for more freedom for the performers. Yeah, that was my whole thing. When I used to go to a lot of wrestling shows in Illinois when they'd come through, and I've mentioned it before that a group of us would like shout at the wrestlers, and we'd try to be creative so that they would wrestle on our side of the building, so we always got the best seats after the first match. But yeah, I had a shouting match with Larry Zabisco. Tried to insult Dino Bravo in high school French, and it wasn't working, and he knew it, and he thought it was funnier than all get out. Had an encounter with the was it the sheep? They used to be the sheep herders, Butch and Luke or whatever. And was it Tully? The tallywhackers. That's what we call them, the tallywhackers. Uh, but yeah, I had quite a number of adventures. But yeah, and I tell people the most boring match I ever attended in person was, I think it was one of the Summer Slams that was being held in the Quad Cities area in Illinois, because all the action was happening in the locker room. All the interviews, everything was, even the fights were going on in the locker room, and we couldn't see it. They didn't have like a jumbotron or anything. So we're all just sitting there for like 10, 15 minutes at a time, just talking to each other. And then, then they had the wrestlers come out, wrestle for 3 minutes, then go back to back to the locker room, then another 20 minutes. It was boring. It was really terrible. And it's a great book. He's not done yet, but it's good, says Aaron. Cool. Well, we'll have to check that out. Please, everyone, check out the links of everyone you see here, because a lot of people are doing some really fantastic stuff, and that's why we let you and everyone put up your links here when you're here live, because we want to share the great works you're all doing. Andy Shaggy Cordy says, hello, Brian. Hello, Andy. Hope you're having a good night. Actually, the ninth novel is out there. Check out DC Claymore's Facebook page for a peek at the cover. Oh, I didn't realize it had been released. I thought it was yet to be released. Well, I sit corrected, DC. I apologize. Donnie Callahan, I used to run an independent wrestling company, cool, with my dad, and love the independent scene way more. Well, like Sandra said, there's a lot more creativity. There's a lot more room for the wrestlers, to basically be less scripted. Yeah, I like the independent stuff. I don't have one that I keep track of, really, but I'm busy. Yeah, I know, Crimey River, right? Anyway, Andy Shaky Cordy has a link to Empire Comics Lab. They produce things like Cemetery Plots and Actionverse, and they do a lot of good work. And Andy's told me some of the stuff coming up. I'm really excited for that company. Bill Sarton says WCIA was commenting on the passing of Carol Channing. WCIA is the CBS affiliate in Champaign, Illinois, by the way, and said that she was survived by her son, who is a famous cartoonist, but didn't hear his name. Anyone know? I don't remember that. If anyone wants to look that up, please do, folks. That link didn't work out well, says DC Claymore. Darn it. Well, DC, if that's the worst thing that happens to you today, buddy, I think you're going to be all right. WWF in the 90s, says Sandra Reinstein, is not my favorite. How very discreet. I watched Raw from 20 years ago every week for the podcast, and there are some good things, but a lot of it is trash. The wrestling itself is way better now. Well, that's cool. Well, I at one point, this is about 7 or 8 years ago, I was following the MTV series about the wrestling schools. That was interesting. Um, and I tried to get back into watching wrestling a little bit. But that was and another thing that got me was that it had the Miz, who had been on the Real World and had publicly said, I want to be a professional wrestler. And he kind of parlayed that into joining the WWE, or WWF at the time, I believe. I think it was still the WWF. Anyway, it was the World Wildlife Fund. Anyway, what was it? But there was this one guy. His gimmick was that he was going to throw up, on the other wrestler once he got pinned. His name was Puke. And I'm like, oh, this is glorious. There's something else on. Oh, fishing. Excellent. Let's watch that. So, yeah, okay. I'm glad to hear it's getting better, though, Sandra. I really am. Sean Delaney, heard great things about the NXT UK show this past weekend, but haven't taken the opportunity to watch it on the network. Well, cool. Well, and who we got? We got Rosemary Morales. Wow, Rosemary, welcome to the Madhouse here. Glad you're here. Hope everything's going well for you. And BB Cole, brother, glad to see you, my friend. Hope everything's going well. And as always, if you've got like a business you own, a creative endeavor you're involved with, or a charity that's near dear to your heart, put the link in. And anyone who's been here from the start of the show, put in your links again. I don't mind. And Sandra is replying to herself, I'm on the SmackDown summary and Retro Raw rundown every week. Let me know what you think if you end up checking them out. Well, it's when I check them out, Sandra. I will endeavor to be better about it. I'm trying to write a whole bunch of things. I'm working on a travel piece for a magazine, and I have an agenda now for my social media activities. So I will get to it, Sandra, but know that I love you. I will feel horrible that I'm so far behind. I really do. DC Claymore, link to the cover for my ninth novel that was released before the end of last year. Okay, I'm still back in 2018. That explains that. I remember you mentioning back then that you were looking, you were looking forward to your release, but I hope it's doing well, brother. I hope it's doing well. Lace Becky says the move was stressful, still unpacking. I've lived here for 2.5 years in this house, and I'm still unpacking. Just started working at the Lakeside Cafe at the St. Louis Zoo. That is awesome, Lace. I knew you got your dream job, basically. That's fantastic, Lace. I'm happy for you. Hope you survive. So hope you survive Snowmageddon down there. Donnie Callahan, NXT has more a free realm than the independent wrestling does at some extent, which I appreciate. That's cool. That's cool. And Tommy Sharp, are there any comic book stores near you? Bushwhackers. Thank you, Tommy Sharp. Yeah, we were calling them the Sheepwhackers, which made Arn and Tully quite happy to see that. We were not Bushwhacker fans, that's for sure. But I remember they've been the sheep herders, and they were like incredibly violent. Then all of a sudden they go to the WWF and they're cuddly. Ugh, couldn't stand it. Tommy Sharp, getting back to it, are there any comic book stores near you? Yes, there are 3 of them, just in Lafayette, West Lafayette alone. West Lafayette has Bond's Books. They sell comics there, and in Lafayette we've got Crystal Comics on the south side, and then the place I go to, which is Blue Moon Comics on Earl Street. So we've got 3 of them. We're pretty well set up over here, so that's cool. Sandra Reinstein says NXT has always been my favorite show under the WWE bubble ever since the pre-WWE network days. NXT UK is doing great things right now. I have friends who work there. Well, that's excellent. That's cool. Donnie Callahan, my dad used to live in Quad Cities at the YMCA working out with some of the guys. Oh, that's interesting. I love the Quad Cities. That's a cool area. And Sean Delane replies to Sandra, if you're feeling brave, Sandra, you're invited to do watch-along episodes. Excellent. And Lace Becky has a link to her other endeavor, Dope Bunny and Clive. Good stuff. You ought to check that out. Check out the works of Lace Becky. She's amazing. Dave Noe says, Brian and I are both part of a fun anthology featuring heroes from Dell Comics. Do I have it? Yes, I still got it. I'm getting through the stories finally. Brian and I are both a part of a fun anthology featuring heroes from Dell Comics and even new ones. Kevin Freer illustrated my Al story, and I have a couple of strange stories with Dr. Hormone, art by Marvin Mann and Rusty Gilligan, and a brand new Western character that I created with Derek Gross Sr. named John B. Taller in Delaprose. And I have a story in here with Mr. Andy Shaggy Cordy of Brain Boy, the psychic secret agent in the swinging 60s. Anyway, and we also get to write Dracula, Frankenstein, and the werewolf. But anyway, this is in Delaprose. It is available on Amazon. Check out that link. You will love it. And Dave Noe will be grateful. And we all thrive on Dave Noe's gratitude, right? Anyway, thank you for the plug, Dave. And there's Michael Burns. Glad to see you, sir. Hope you're having a great evening. And Todd Black. There we go. What's this? A chance to promote myself? I wouldn't do that to you on your show. Yeah, I would. Okay, Todd is banned forever. Anyway, yes, check out the work of Todd Black, okay, on Amazon. Todd, it's good to see you here. Hope you're having a good night. Blue Moon Comics in Lafayette at bluemooncomics.net. And I think they have a Facebook page here, too. I don't know if they do anything with it, but they're too busy selling comics. And Andy, I was telling everyone the other day about our project for New Comic Book Day next year. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fun. But Andy's a wonderful artist and production and business manager, and he does it all. He really does. And plus, check out welcometothemanor.com, which is Andy's website. Paul S. Roof. If anyone has a book or comic coming out, email Paul S. Roof at paulsroof@hotmail.com for this Friday's Independent Book Live show at 7 p.m. on YouTube. Please put in a link to your page if you would, Paul. I attended the last one and had a great time. It was a good show. I really enjoyed it. And Sandra Reinstein says, The Miz is incredible now. He's one of the best parts of SmackDown. Well, I saw a recent ad for like one of the events coming up, and I noticed he was front and center. That's quite cool. I mean, I liked him when he was on. I've seen him wrestle a few times. He was very good. I will say that. Very athletic and good mic presence too. And I liked him on what was it? Real World. I don't remember where it was at, but he was one of the few people I did like on that show, which is pretty much standard. Donnie Callahan, if you ever watch Beyond the Rope commentary, really gives you the insight on some of the wrestlers' life. Even mentions puke. Yes, I've seen that one. Yes, isn't that the one with that cage match with The Rock and Cactus Jack? Horrifying to watch. But yeah, if that's the one I'm thinking, that was a great movie. That was a really excellent movie on a documentary on professional wrestling. Clyde Hall, please check out doomrocket.com for comic book reviews, previews, interviews, and view views. And who couldn't stand some more view views? We've had a lot of previews from Rebellion Publications this week. So if you're a UK comics fan, Doom Rocket keeps up with what's new from the Judge Dredd, Misty, and Battle Presents folks. I love Judge Dredd. I think his second appearance in 2000 AD somewhere. Judge Dredd, I love Judge Dredd. He's awesome. Beyond the Mat, thank you, Donnie Callahan. And Sandra says, love Beyond the Mat. It's so sad that Droz end up paralyzed from wrestling. Yes. Oh, my God, yeah. And Lace on Becky's going to hop off here. Good night, everyone. Lace, thank you for being here, hon. And hope to see you soon. Have a fantastic night. Say hello to your husband for me. And Paulus Ruff has a link to his YouTube page. Please check that out. He's doing a lot of stuff on YouTube. I'm very proud of the man. And it was fun showing up at his show and heckling him last Friday. So thank you for putting up with me. There we go. Donnie Callahan is rolling out, but he's got to keep busy here. But here are my plug-ins with my page and other pages I'm associated with. Good night, lovely people. What? Nothing for me, Donnie? Donnie, have a great night, brother. Good to see you. And the plan is to start Free Comic Book Day issue tonight, says Andy Cordy, if everything goes right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great. Apparently my rewrite worked. I'm hoping. I'm glad if it did. Basically, what happened was there were four of us in Blue Moon Comics at Free Comic Book Day last year, and we started plotting a comic story together. And I think Stan Timmons wins the prize for best line in there. And Andy knows which one it is. He's probably grinning and rolling his eyes right now. Can map out the bottom of his brain by now. But no, it was a good time, and had fun writing that script. Donnie Callahan has a link to his Facebook page. Jeffrey Callahan. See, was it Donald Jeffrey Callahan? My apologies. And then another Facebook page, Superman World War fan film. That is, I've seen the preview of that. That is awesome. It takes place at the end of World War II, and it looks just like, from the comics of that period. It's great stuff. Also, Facebook, DJC Films with a Z. Check that out also. Donnie, have a great night, my man. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. And you too, Brian. Hugs and love. Hugs and love back to you, Donnie. Have a great one, okay? And let's see. And we're caught up with the comments, which means we can do our promotion, which we don't do it for ourselves much, but we do it for comicspriceguide.com. They are the world's largest comic book price guide. It's a fantastic community. You can sign up for free. They have a downloadable app for your Android device. And they've got a database of over 950,000 comics that you can search anytime for free, folks. They also have a page here on Facebook along with their sister page, Tales from the Geek. And every Tuesday night, Aaron Biggs and her friends review the latest comic book releases. That's Tales from the Geek and comicspriceguide.com. Also, we are proud that we are affiliated with this wonderful Speaking of podcasts, wonderful podcast group called Journey in the Comics Network. It's a wonderful family of different hot button geeks things, like everything from Doctor Who to comics to microbrews, restaurants, what have you, parenting. They've been at it, releasing every day for the last 14 months and counting. So they make their deadlines. They're good folks, and they're entertaining, high production values, and you'll love them. Anyway, if you want to check them out, go to journeyintocomics.com, or you can subscribe to them on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, or Spotify. All right, and also I'd like to put in one plug for myself. Rising Tide Publications, this page here, we are now posting every day. Every day we've got something fresh on there. And you also have a chance to sign up for our mailing list. We promise we will not give away, sell, or trade your contact information. We're keeping it. We're greedy. Anyway, we're getting the February issue started next week. And who knows who is going to be the secret link? You'll find out if you get on my newsletter from Rising Tide Publications. Thank you very much, everyone. And let's see, Andy Shady Corey, was it Stan or was it Mark that came up with that for Ann's? Yeah, it was Stan. I remember distinctly because I wrote it in my notes that Stan Timmons was to blame for that line about Anne's Franks. But I think everyone should have to get the comic book on May 4th in order to get the joke. And Tom Tasmer Jr. has joined us. Tom, good to have you here. Hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday night. Welcome to the Madhouse here. And I'll remind everyone, if you have a creative endeavor, a business, or a charity that's near and dear to you, put it in the link. Put the link in the comments, hit that enter, and we will share it with all of our friends. And everyone, again, as always, I urge you, please share this video. It is not necessarily for me, but however, the people who put links in here, it helps them a lot, I think. I do get comments every now and then. People are clicking the links, and this makes me happy. Also, this is going to be rerun on YouTube, on my channel on YouTube. We also share this on the Rising Tide page. So we're going to make this stuff work by Jingo. And again, if I have not said hello to you, it's just that I've not been notified that you're here by Facebook. But I see I've gotten some love from Brian Wensloff. And Brian, I wanted to give you a shout out because I intended to, because I was on the wonderful Comics in the Classroom Facebook Live show last Saturday with Nicole and had a great time. We talked about a lot of cool things. You'll see the video on my page and also on the Rising Tide page. Thank you for that love there. And who else have we got here? Charlie Collins here. Charlie, hope you're having a good evening, my friend. Hope everything's going well. Did the note about who came up with Anne Franks go into your diary? Yeah, there we go. And I probably shouldn't mention that I wrote it here in the business office, which is up in the attic. Anyway, yeah. But it was a terrible line, which of course means we had to use it. So DC Claymore said, had a fantastic time with Ariana Archeri with the podcast on the 11th. But next time the author needs to stop hogging all the talk time. DC, she's interviewed me about 4 or 5 times. She's used to the author sucking all the air out of the room, if you know what I mean. So I'll have to listen to that. If you have a link to her Night Moves radio broadcast, that would be cool to share. Dave Noe, any of you writers who would like to submit a short story for the next Indela Prose anthology, come here and check us out right here. Stories average around 3,000 words, more or less, or like me, more. And it must be based on Dell public domain characters and even new heroes. And there is the link to the Indelible page. They've put out, what, 2 issues of popular comics. You've got, I think, a funny animal, a funny comic coming out soon, if I remember correctly. And then, of course, he's working on the new Indelible Prose, so, which is very cool. And Catherine Shaft-Stump has joined us. Catherine, welcome to the Evening Madhouse. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And let's see. As always, of course, put in a link to your business, your creative endeavor, or your charity if you feel so inclined, and we hope you do. Charming Lowe. Okay, Channing Lowe, Channing Lowe, Carol Channing's son. Interesting. From the Tribune Content Agency. Thank you very much, Clyde. Yeah. I vaguely remember hearing that she had a son who was a cartoonist, but I couldn't remember his name for the life of me. But Clyde Hall has been promoted to ombudsman. Thank you so much. And link to the DC Claymore podcast with Ariana Archeri of Cherry House Press. And there it is on the Cloverleaf Radio Network. Excellent. I will check that out, DC. Thank you very much. I think it was happening at the same time I was ruining Paul S. Roof's live broadcast on his channel. So anyway, no, I'll check that out. That sounds cool. And we're caught up with the comments. How the hell did that happen? See, I did have something. I did see on the way in. I think I wrote it. I know I wrote it down somewhere. Oh, here it is. Yes. As you know, we've been covering the thing with the incident with Dirk Manning on the very, very popular Bandersnatch film. Some of his work basically was lifted. Well, just this week, the people who put it, that was not it. Oh, here we go. Netflix is being sued right now for $25 million. This has been reported in Variety and The Hollywood Reporter. Um, Choose Co., which is the company that owns the trademark on the classic Choose Your Own Adventure book series, has launched a $25 million lawsuit against Netflix concerning Bandersnatch. They're seeking damages or profits and injunctive relief for the use of the term. Well, actually, part of it was they name dropped him on the show, the Choose Your Own Adventures. Plus, it seems that in 2006, the Choose Your Own Adventure company was in negotiations with Netflix to do a series based on the classic Choose Your Own Adventure series. And nothing ever came of it. And in fact, they say that 20th Century Fox actually has the licensing deal now to make movies based on Choose Your Own Adventure. But they were Chooseco was not very happy when they look at the marketing for Bandersnatch to find out that they were using the phrase "Choose Your Own Adventure" in the advertising. So they sent a cease and desist letter, which apparently was ignored. Let's see. So on January 11th, which was last Friday, Chooseco filed the $25 million lawsuit. They claim their brand has suffered reputational harm because of the dark nature of and adult nature of Bandersnatch, the film, and that the producers and Netflix willfully and intentionally capitalized on the brand's goodwill from the 80s and 90s. They're claiming trademark infringement, false designation of origin, and dilution of their brand. And how this ties into Dirk Manning is that Dirk found that the basic plot of Bandersnatch was something he wrote 15 years ago in his classic Nightmare World series. Both it was printed online and has been collected in print. But all they did was kind of like give him a little bit of a, hey, Nightmare World, little shout out, and thinking, well, if we do that, we don't have to pay him any money. So anyway, that's where it stands. So anyone who's been following the Bandersnatch legal dilemma, it has just gone into overdrive now. So we'll keep you posted on that one. Let's see. DC Claymore says for his interview, you have to listen close. I used Skype and the audio was a little tinny. Yeah, I usually call on my cell phone, and usually it goes out. One time I was trying to do it while on the road, and we went into an area with no service. That was kind of awkward. And then another time, I had just gotten a brand new cell phone, and it was right in the middle of the interview that my carrier was changed from what it had been to the new carrier, and that was exciting. Anyway, I'm glad you got to do that, though. Ariana's a great interviewer. I love her and Josh. They're great people. And speaking of great people, there's Derek Gross Sr., the aforementioned Derek Gross Sr. Derek, thank you for being here. We appreciate your coming back. Hope you are having a great evening. Derek is a very talented artist, and he's the guy that does all the graphic layouts and everything for IndelaPros, which you should get a copy of because it is an awesome book, and I'm in there. So is Andy Shaggy Cordy. So is Dave Noe. Dave Noe's all over the place. And Kevin Halter and a whole bunch of people I like. Anyway, I'm in there. I like me. So please pick up a copy on Amazon. Paul S. Ruff, you always enhance every show you show up at, Brian. You say that now. You guys are going to ban me yet. I'm sure of it. But no, Paul, I had a great time, and I think your show's got a lot going for it. And I see nothing but good things coming for you as a result. So I'm pleased that you're doing a whole lot more with YouTube. I'm warming up my channel. I'm putting some more stuff on there, so it's going to be good. And Daniel Tice has joined us. Daniel, glad to have you here. Hope you're having a great Tuesday night. Not covfefe, but Kool-Aid. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid tonight. And no cracking in it for once. I'm cold sober doing the shows, which proves it's not the alcohol that makes me incoherent. It's a natural talent. Let's see, and who else have we got here? And Andy Shaggy Cordy has mocked me with his laughter, which I appreciate. And I'm just seeing who's given us a like and a love, and we appreciate everyone that gives us a like and a love. And Rick Ryan, glad to see you, sir. Hope you're having a great night. Please go to the Elston Presbyterian Church page here on Facebook and listen to the sermons of Rick Ryan. He's a very insightful guy, and he liked Santastein. So my respect for him grows astronomically. And Kadrolsha Ona Carol, Kadrolsha, the real life queen of the paranormal. Go to queenoftheparanormal.com and check out what she does. She's also got a brand new network to the paranormal. She is also an actress and a producer, and she's got a comic book coming out soon. I should know because I wrote it. With Kadrolsha's full approval and guidance. But anyway, Kadrolsha, we love you. And she is also a real life super heroine. So go to queenoftheparanormal.com and see why I make that claim. She is amazing. We love you, Kadrolsha. Hope your evening's going well. And let's see, I think we're caught up then. We have said all the news we had. That didn't take long, did it? Anyway. So anyway, the Kool-Aid's gone. So let's see. I did have a subject for tonight. Didn't know if I wanted to put that up or not. But to everyone who's involved in creative endeavors, what are you doing this? Oh, wait a second. Andy Shaggy Corey, what kind of hat would you wear if you couldn't wear a fez, says Andy Corey. Andy, I have the hat right here, and I've shown it on here before, and I love this hat. And I wish to the heavens that I knew I was going to be, using this one day, because this would have been my branding. But I got this at one of the Halloween stores this last Halloween, and it fit because I have an enormous head, which I can't figure out. I don't have any extra brains in there, but anyway, it came with the goggles, and I knew it had to be mine. So I glued some gears on it, and I think it looks spiffy myself. Eventually, we're going to put a lot more gears and stuff on it. But no, I love this hat. If it were red, I would love it even more. But no, this is the hat I would wear. Plus, it keeps my head a little warmer than the other one. Because God knows I don't have any hair to put up there anymore, but that's okay. As I'm fond of saying, if everyone wants to use their hormones for growing hair on their top of their heads, you're welcome to it. I have better plans for mine. And so anyway, hope that answered your question, Andy. Paul Esworth, Mondays I do a show about writing. Friday shows is live. It is to help any and all independent people. Well, by God, I saw your guest list on Friday. You couldn't get a more independent group than us. And Sandra says that's a great hat. Thank you, Sandra. I appreciate that. I really do. No, I love that hat. I really do. I love my fez too. Maybe if I change my branding again, I'll switch to that other hat. But yeah, I like that hat a lot. I'm very happy with it. Plus, I got it on sale. That didn't hurt at all. So anyway, thank you again, Sandra. I appreciate that. Andy Shaggy Corey, how soon before you write a steampunk story? Andy, I've already written one, actually. I want to write some more. I want to write some prose steampunk. I have an idea for a novel. I have not written it yet. It's a steampunk novel. I'm very, very eager to get going on that, but it's going to be a couple years before I do at this rate. And I even have my cover artist picked out. I've also got to afford the guy. He's really in demand, and he's really good. And he said he'd do it as long as I could pay him. But anyway, it's going to be a while. But I have written a steampunk comic. It was done through Sean Delaney helped me out on this one. The place in Evansville, I want to say Comic. It's not Comic Relief. Comic Quest, wasn't it Comic Quest? Anyway, they do an anthology comic with their patrons, and I was invited by Michael Kasinger, in fact, to contribute a steampunk story. He called me one morning and said, "I want you to do a steampunk story. I will do the art." And it turned out, and I just wrote this, the plot just, bam, came to me. I wrote it out, and then Michael saw all the stuff I was going to have him draw, and he said, no way, no, seriously, he had something else going. And so we gave it to a friend of ours down in Evansville who really knocked it out of the park. It's a beautiful story. It's called The Proper Use of Steam. And it's a dandy little story. And in all honesty, I think it's the best one in there. Michael Kasinger's story, of course, a very close second. Very close second. But you have to love your own work, I think. And Sean Delaney did the lettering. That's right. You weren't real happy with me either. I remember because I had all those sound effects. Comic Quest Showcase. Thank you. Have they done one since then? I think eight was their last issue that I saw. Not that I've had time to write for them. Anyway, Stetson has an outlet nearby, says Dave Noe. So I'm going to go shopping for a really, really sweet fedora for my birthday on Valentine's Day. How very cool. I want to look sharp for my daughter's wedding in May. Oh, that's beautiful, man. She's a talented girl. She's a graphics design artist and did the cover for one of my poetry books. That's beautiful, Dave. That's fantastic. You know, the thing is, a good hat is really wonderful. It's really comfortable to wear. It's like a handmade shirt. You get one if it just feels right. I've got kind of a fedora that I bought in Champagne a number of years ago. That it's lovely. I don't have anything that goes with it, but it's really a nice hat and it feels good. Plus, I've got a cowboy hat that's seen some use, but I got it in Winterset, Iowa. I wound up with it. Kim Lockman, kimlockman.com. Check out her paintings. She's amazingly talented. She was selling her paintings in the hometown of John Wayne for a festival they have in late May, celebrating his birthday there. Well, anyway, somebody went to visit Kim, and he left his Stetson on the table when he left. We couldn't find him. We stayed there. It happened early in the morning. He never came back for it. So I've had it ever since because Kim didn't want it. Cookie couldn't wear it, and so fine. So, but yeah, a good hat. It's a good thing to find. Let's see. What about a diesel punk or cyberpunk story? Says Andy Shaggy Cordy. I'm up for any of that, Andy. Are you looking to collaborate? I could use a great artist if I come up with something. Let's talk. And happy wedding day, says Andy Shaggy Corey. And I share his sentiments too. That's beautiful, Dave. Thank you for sharing that with us. That is so cool. And good luck to your daughter and her intended. Let's see. And we're caught up with the comments again, twice in 1 hour. How did that happen? Anyway, that gives us a chance to talk a little bit about comicspriceguide.com. You can buy, sell, and trade without a fee. You can sign up for this wonderful site without a fee also. You can upload your collection inventory and monitor its value in real time. And you can search your database for over 950,000 comic books. They also have a page here on Facebook called, of all things, Comics Price Guide. And they share all kinds of geeky love on there. When you'll also get that love on Tales from the Geek, their sister page, where every Tuesday night, Aaron Biggs and her friends review the latest comic book releases. It's a great thing to have, this comicpriceguide.com. They're up to the minute, and you'll love them. I do. I'm glad to be there. Also, you want to say hello to Journey into Comics, wonderful family of podcasts that have their finger on the geek buttons everywhere. Nate, Veronica, Dick, the whole crew, they do wonderful daily podcasts and haven't missed a day in over 14 months now. Very proud of them. They've got high production values. They're really great people. I love them. And if you want to check them out, they've got their entire inventory of podcasts on journeyintocomics.com. They've got over 200 of them. And I am on a couple, so look me up. That's journeyintocomics.com. Or you can subscribe on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, or Spotify. Okay? And also we have our own page here, Rising Tide Publications here on Facebook. Please check it out. We have all kinds of news and information. We ask you questions. We get a little interactive with you. And we just generally keep you posted on everything coming out from Rising Tide Publications, such as the new Volcana book. Plus, we're going to tell you about frightening things eventually. Trust me on that one. Anyway, it's Rising Tide Publications here on Facebook. And also, we have a YouTube channel we're kicking up. We're going to be putting some original content on there that will not be on Facebook. So check us out there. We're also putting reruns of this show on there too. So Facebook, if you're watching us, hello Facebook. Pards Western Store in Urbana still has a good selection of Stetson hats. Yeah, I used to love Pards. That was a great place. That was fun. I think I got my my regular hat though. I don't know if it's still there, but it's just down the street, just a little bit east on University, by the Esquire Lounge, and everyone's going, what the hell are you talking about, Brian? Anyway, let's see. Arden Belfry is a great artist for us in Empire Comics Lab and does some great cyberpunk art. I am coloring some for Actionthology. I think Arden may be the one doing my story in issue 4. I'm not sure. He did some sort of what would you call it? Like a cyberpunk story. I think it was in issue 1 or 2. I don't have my comics near me. It was beautiful. Editor Dan Johnson said, "Would you mind if this guy drew your story?" And I'm like, "No, don't mind at all. I'm good with it, Dan. You taking care of me. I like this." So DC Claymore, frightening things. You'll have me on your show? Yes. Yeah, there you go. Terrifying things. DC Claymore. Ball, but enough of the balls. Anyway, yeah, and we got Lonnie Johnson joining us. Lonnie, good to see you. Lonnie is a co-proprietor, I guess you'd call it, of Heroes for Kids out of Perrysville, Missouri, a great cosplay group. And we're looking forward to seeing them on the road soon. Sorry we missed you at Toy Man if you made it. And I know he's going to put in links to that and the comic convention he's got happening in July, Heroes for Kids Con. And Debbie Prentice is here. Mwah, Debbie, hope you and Rick are doing well. I've been trying to keep up on Rick and you. Hope everything's going well for you both. And I hope you're staying safe in this weather. Pardon me. But yeah, Heroes for Kids is a wonderful organization out of Perrysville, Missouri, southeast Missouri, who are using cosplay to raise awareness of childhood diseases and to raise money for hopefully their eventual eradication. They do a lot of conventions. They have a great deal of cool merchandise that you can buy, and the profit and the proceeds go towards the kids. They've made sizable contributions to organizations such as the Kenny Rogers Network, the Children's Miracle Network, a whole bunch of others. They do wonderful, wonderful things, and we're so very proud of them. So very proud. Let's see what's going on. And I think that's it. Oh, just to remind everybody, of course, we have a morning show that happens Monday and Thursday called Never Mind the Furthermore with me. And it's pretty much like this, except it's probably less organized, and we drink coffee. But anyway, Never Mind the Furthermore is 9:30 Eastern Time, Mondays and Thursdays, here on this very page. And let's see what else we got going. And, of course, we got a whole bunch of writing going on. Like I said, I'm working on currently the sequel to Volcana. I've got a travel article I've got to get done. Yes, I do travel articles, people. I don't do just pop culture trash. I do travel articles. They just happen to have a geeky slant to them, if you know what I mean. But I'm excited to get that done. And also, something I've started doing now, authors tell me I'm doing right. Lately, when I've been finishing one of my friend's books, you know what I've been doing? I've been leaving a review on Amazon and Goodreads if I can do it. I've got my pile of my friend's books, which is in relation to the pile of books that I have from people I'm not friends with, that is holding this computer up in the air so that we can look at each other eye level. The other stack's about like this. I have a lot of friends. They write a lot of books. I can't keep up. But anyway, and we're joined by Paulie Hart. Paulie, another great author and a dear friend. Paulie, hope you're doing well. Hope the night's treating you well. Paulus Ruff has a link to my page on YouTube. I actually have two channels. I've got one from a Google account that I don't use anymore. And then I've got the one I'm populating. But yeah, I've got some stuff on camouflage too. Thank you. Thank you, Paul Esriff. I appreciate you. And DC Claymore review. Yes, yes. And what I've vowed to do is when I read a book, I will review it on Facebook and on Goodreads. So I urge all of you, it is a wonderful thing you can do for a writer, because even if you just give a 4-star rating. Hey, Paulie, how you doing? Great reviews are great. Hey, I think I reviewed yours too. And Tom Collum is here. Tom, glad to have you here. Hope you're having a fantastic night. Charlie's here. Was here earlier. And good evening to you, Jessica Johnson. Glad you're here, hon. But yeah, see, the thing is, if you leave a review, one, it's a great way to show the author that you appreciate what that author wrote. Without having to buy another copy. It takes just a couple of minutes. You don't have to write a book about it. It's just like, I enjoyed this book. Here's why, a specific reason, and then I recommend it, or here's something I found at fault with it. You don't have to go into a lot of detail, but even 1-star reviews actually help us because the logarithms on Facebook, we get our books we get more promotion for them. They get pushed up ahead of other books when people are interacting with our pages and showing us some reviews. And if we hit 25, we go up to another level. If we go 50, we get even more notice. So the reviews help us a lot. So please, if you have read our books, please just take 2 minutes and leave us a review on Amazon. We would sincerely appreciate it, okay? And Jessica has the links to the Heroes for Kids in Perrysville, Missouri, and they're going to be at Cape Con. I realized Cape Con is, I got the email from Amanda. It's 3 months away. I'm realizing I got to get a room and everything, so I got to get ready. And also they have the convention of their own in July, Heroes for Kids Comic-Con, where the profits from the show, once they pay all the bills, it's going to go to a couple of kids. I'm so excited about that. I am going to be there. Paulie Hart says, Brian reviewed my book. It was epic. Send him all your stuff so we can see the ceiling. Well, that's true, because I'm when I run out of my friends' books, I'm gonna have, I'm gonna have I'm gonna have to start working on the pile that I'm using to prop up the laptop. So I'll need more books. But yeah, I've got like Luther Seiler, Dwight Decker, Sean Delaney, The Joy of Joe. Pardon me, Kathy Jackson, Casey Pierce, Dave Noe. Then some stuff I really, really wanted to read. John Borowski, Matt Hebert, and DC Claymore. I got DC Claymore. And I've got Charles on my Kindle, so Charles F. Millhouse. So it's like, yeah, we got stuff going on. We've got things to review. We've got things to do. Which, speaking of which, we do have things to do. Anyway, my four should be in there somewhere. Yes, DC, they are in there. I just kind of stacked them up, though. I didn't really have any order to them, so we'll get to yours eventually. I'm sorry, DC. How long ago was that? I only just now realized that, that I'm not reading as much as I should, and I should be doing more reading. So I've gotten better about it. Right now, the one I'm reading some of the stories in Indela Prose that I haven't read yet. I'm also reading a book on Facebook marketing, so it's not all nonfiction. So anyway, yes, your four are in there, DC, and we're going to catch up, and then we're going to have to get the other five. So I always got something to do. So anyway, and we've just passed an hour on this show, and we actually do have some other things we've got to get done. So we're going to cut this one at 1 hour and 1 minute, actually 2 minutes. So anyway, thank you all for being here. You guys could be anywhere on this icky night. At least it's icky here in central Indiana, and you chose to be here, which flatters me no end. Please don't forget that we're here Mondays and Thursdays on Nevermind the Furthermore with me, and you never know who's going to pop in. DC Claymore, my friend, I understand you have a busy life, plus you have a wife to interact with. She's busy editing one of my books, so she doesn't know I'm alive. Anyway, no, she is resting. She gets a couple days off. Yeah. Then she gets to go back just in time for all the snow we're supposed to get. But anyway, please check out, one and all, please check out the links and everyone who has left their links here. There's some great stuff that they're doing, some great independent work. Please support them. Please click on their links and discover a whole bunch of new worlds. And Tom Com, got to go eat. Great to check this out. I do review the books I read. Tom, I love you. You're great. You're fantastic. And it helps a lot, man. It seriously does. Tom, I hope we get to talk to you sometime. And good night to you, Paulie and Paul S. Roof. Check out Paul S. Roof stuff. Check out the work of Paulie Hart. He is on Amazon. Sandra Reinstein says, time to watch SmackDown for me anyway. Work calls. Cheers, everyone. Sandra, mwah. I love you. Thank you for being here. All my best to Lark, too, okay? Jessica Johnson, back to work on Heroes for Kids. Comic-Con sponsor letters. Beautiful. See, everyone's being productive here. So it's a good thing. Yay. Anyway, we thank you all for being here. Thank you for making the Tuesday episodes a hit. We are doing well. We were kind of concerned that we'd lose everyone on Tuesdays, but it turns out y'all came with us, and we appreciate it. And in fact, we're doing a little better. So please tell your friends about this show. Tell your friends about what we're doing on Rising Tide, and on the YouTube page we just kicked up again. So remember, that's the Rising Tide Publications page. You can find the link on my page here on Facebook. Same place where you're seeing this video, no doubt. But anyway, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for your support, as always. PaulieHart.com. I don't even need to look at it. PAULYHART.com. That's him if you're bored and a little insane, or if you're slightly bored and frightfully insane. Paulie is a great wordsmith. He really is, and he's a good friend. Love having him here. Sorry we have to cut out on you, Paulie, and all of you. But again, Thank you. And even though the weather outside is frightful, don't let it stop you from creating. Okay, because you're always doing some great things, people. I'm proud of all of you, and I want to see you get this stuff out in front of the public, get some eyeballs on it, and so you can come back and brag about it. Okay. And where are you going to come brag? You're going to come brag here on Clever Title Pending. We're going to be back Thursday morning with Never Mind the Furthermore, and we'll be back 1 week from tonight at 7 p.m. on Clever Title Pending. So thank you all again for being here. Have a fantastic rest of the night or afternoon or whenever you're watching this. And always never apologize for being awesome.